I'm Anthony Napoli, and this is UTB. Drink of choice is UTB's very own Pink Flamingo, aka the Pink Panty Pull Down. Holla! We're coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada, literally under a bus, with Vegas's very own funny man, Jimmy Slonina, to talk about his favorite story of getting thrown under the bus. Tossed under a bus, whatever you will, but the saying goes, you threw me under a bus. Jimmy, come on under, bud.
Okay, yeah.
There he is,
How
folks.
you guys doing? All right.
How are you, bud?
Oh, I'm great.
Everything good?
Yeah, everything's great.
Okay. I see you came prepared, bud, so what I'm gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and have ourselves a nice signature cocktail. In this episode's signature cocktail, a very own UTB is the Pink Flamingo, aka the Pink Panty Pull Down. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers.
You nice and cozy.
Yes.
Oh, isn't that good?
Oh, that's delish.
So, we all want to know, I want to know, and everybody out there
Yeah?
want to know what it is that you do, what have you done, and what you're planning to do.
I've been doing a lot of trying to make people laugh in my life. I'm a Cirque du Soleil clown right now. I've worked for a lot of different companies, though, other than Cirque du Soleil, but I almost prefer to not call myself a clown. I almost prefer to call myself a comic actor, because clown is such a bad word these days. Everybody kind of hates clowns, scared of clowns, all this sort of thing. So I'm trying to figure out a way to still, be who I am and not scare small children or people who say they're afraid of clowns.
Sure.
So I've been doing a lot of work with Cirque du Soleil. I've toured with Pink as her comic host of her world tour a few years ago. I worked for Spiegel World, traveled around the world, did a bunch of different things, and that's my life's goal, is to be a funny man, I guess, to make people laugh is the big goal in life, and get paid for it.
That's wonderful.
Right?
Now, somewhere I read that one of your fans, and I can't remember who it was, reached out and says, why is this guy not considered the next Robin Williams? Because for some reason they thought you're absolutely hilarious. I think you're funny as hell. And certainly the shows that hire you think you're funny as hell, because you wouldn't be employed if not.
I guess so.
Now, what do you think about that, Jimmy?
Well, I think Robin Williams did a lot of cocaine in his day, and I think I'm a little. Those days are past me. No, but I've always considered Hollywood to be like the ultimate goal for a long time, and I'm from Chicago originally, and I always thought that I would make it out there in Chicago for a little while, and then something would bring me to California, and I would just become a big TV or film star. But then Las Vegas called and said, hey, we want you to do a big Cirque-style show where you get to make people laugh 5 days a week for a bunch of money. And so, how would you like to do that instead? I was like, well, it's kind of hard to pass up steady work.
Sure.
So the whole Hollywood concept is kind of past me now, and I'm kind of enjoying the Vegas life, and I'm enjoying the live stage stuff, and creating my own sort of path to what it means to make people laugh, and how that all works.
Sure.
You're probably wondering why I'm dressed like. You're not going to ask me why I'm dressed up like this?
Not at all. Because I'm used to it. But I will ask, what's the get up for?
Well, see, normally I have no problem getting into confined spaces and getting a little rough and tumble. It's just that, Anthony, you happen to pick the one location where 100 feet behind your head of where we're sitting right now, my wife was bit horribly by a brown recluse spider. And if you don't know what a brown recluse spider is, look it up, because you've probably heard of black widows, and if she got bit by a black widow, she'd be living the dream. But she got bit by a brown recluse spider, which it kind of turns your skin dead. It makes your skin just it turns into necrosis, and black shit happens all around it, and the only thing that you can get to fix it is a skin graft, and I don't have very good insurance. So
Gosh darn it.
so I'm just taking extra precaution on this 90-degree weather day, and I'm loving every second of it.
So hence the sweater and the bodysuit underneath, the goggles, gloves.
My son's gloves, the goggles. If a spider bites me right now, he deserves to bite me because he would have to really work to get me. But,
Unbelievable.
But I do love the getup you got. I like your place here.
It's looking good, isn't it?
It is nice.
And it's new wiring, new electrical.
I know, right?
Battery.
A black school bus.
You can't beat it.
Who would have guessed?
You can't beat it.
Yeah.
We're literally underneath it.
Yeah.
So Jimmy, I want to know. Why don't we have another drink?
Oh.
Pour another drink.
Oh.
I want to know what your favorite story, and it could be, a family member, a friend, a colleague, even yourself, of getting thrown under a bus.
If I may, I've been thrown under the bus many, many times in my career. Although where I'm from, Chicago, which is what's on my sweatshirt in case you can't see it, Chicago is where I'm from, baby. And there wasn't a lot of throwing under the bus in Chicago. There's something about the community of Chicago that's just really lovely and just loves, it's all about community and taking care of each other, and the people there are just always really great. It's when I started moving west, when I really started to feel the burn, where I really started to feel like, oh right, this doesn't just happen in the movies. People are out to fuck you in order for them to get ahead. Whether it's they're assholes or they're narcissists or they're sociopaths, all sorts of different things. But if I may, I would like to tell a story, or I could tell countless stories about me throwing people under the bus.
Even better.
As a Cirque du Soleil clown, but as a clown in general, if I'm working with an audience, chances are I'm throwing somebody under the bus nightly. Because what I've been fortunate to work with an audience, which is something I really love to do. I really love to get with the audience, just physically touching them, getting them to do things that they don't necessarily want to do. But that's the thing. People who go to see shows like that, they don't want to be pulled up on stage. They don't want to be fucked with. They want to just sit there and enjoy the show. They want to be the person in the audience looking at the person getting fucked with and being like, I'm glad I'm not that guy. But, I'm a clown. And instead of audience volunteers, I prefer to call them victims. Victims. Because that's what they are. They're really victims. Even more so, they're sacrifices. Like any church or any religious sort of thing, you need to have a sacrifice to the gods. You need to present this sacrifice to the gods. And my God is laughter. So I need to find a sacrifice, a person that's going to be a good sport, that I'm not going to hurt them, I'm not going to humiliate them too much, I'm not going to do anything that's going to really be a detriment to who they are as a person, but I am going to make them uncomfortable. I am going to make them do things that they didn't think they were going to do, that they don't really necessarily want to do. But you know what? If I make one person uncomfortable, 1,499 other people are going to laugh.
They're going to love it.
They're going to love it. They're going to laugh, and that's what it's about. So, it's really, it's kind of over the years I've had to really hone my skills of picking the right victim.
Sure.
You got to pick the right kind of person. If you're going to bring them up on stage, if they're going to do anything physical, they just, they can't be too old. They can't have a cane. They can't, have, a patch on their eye or whatever like that. So I need to suss them out in a very short amount of time. I need to see what they can do, see if if there's also a lot of physical cues too.
Okay.
And some of them are pretty counterintuitive. If I see somebody in the audience who's just oh, pick me, I want to do something I want to go up there, or the whole crew of their group are all yeah, pick this guy, let's do this guy.
A friend, throw a friend on the bus.
I avoid them like the plague. I don't bother.
And why is that?
Because I need to control my victim. I need to be able to tell them what to do, and they will do what I tell them to do, and nothing more. and really nothing less.
Sure.
If I bring somebody up who's a goofball, who I see that's a goofball in his seat, I'm going to bring him up on stage, and he's going to act like a goofball. I got shit to do. I got shit that I need him to do.
Sure.
Like, a lot of my stuff isn't improvised, it's scripted. So I need to guide this person through a very specific set of movements, whatever, in order to get them to do what I want them to do.
Okay.
So if they're goofing off, I don't know where they're going, and I need to be in control.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm going to be throwing this guy under the bus, it needs to be on my terms. And so that's one of the things that I look for in a victim. That if he seems like he's having a good time, but not too much of a good time, if he's like really grumpy or has his arms crossed or doing all this, I may take a little more time thinking about maybe I won't pick this guy, maybe I will, I'm not sure. Because sometimes I could turn people like that around.
Okay.
I could turn grumpy guys around and that sort of thing. But when you have, and I'm in Mystere at Treasure Island, and I pick a guy on stage. What I do is I pick a couple, because the gag is I bring up the guy on stage, lock him in a box, and then I go flirt with his girl. That's the joke. So I find this guy, and I'm like, this guy seems a little bit goofy. He's got a white shirt and red suspenders, young kid, but I don't see really any other couple around. So I'm like, okay, the girl seems nice, and he seems okay. I'm gonna bring him up on stage. So I get him. I was like, can you help me, please, sir? And I bring him up onto the stage, and then he takes a step up onto the stage, and he does a Pratt trip up on the stage. So he does a joking trip up the stage. And I look at him, and I'm like, nope, you're going back to your seat. I turned him around, I set him right back down in his seat. I'm like, I can't work with that. So I just had to keep looking. I found another couple.
Sure.
I had to abort.
Yeah. But you're good at what you do, so you knew right away, I got to get this guy out of here.
Exactly. And I had to get it done early.
Yeah, in a fun way.
In a fun way. I'm
Get
just
the
like,
hell out.
nope, you're done. I'm just going to find somebody else. Just like very pleasant about it. Just
Sure.
moved on with the show. And it was a little hiccup in the show, but nothing detrimental, you know? But yeah, it's the sort of thing where you have to suss them out early. You have to suss them out, make sure that they're gonna do what you have to do, and then go on with it. And there's all sorts of different criteria for picking the right person. Like, I love picking on bald guys. And there's always a bald guy in the audience. There's never not a bald person in an audience of 1,000 or more.
Sure.
So if I find a bald guy, I could spend a half an hour with a bald guy alone, and it's all good humored. It's all like, usually what I like to do with bald guys is I like to worship their bald head. I like to just how beautiful they are. And I like to kiss it and like lick it,
Shine it.
wipe it down,
Yeah.
shine it, put a wig on it, whatever it is. And this is all done in good fun, you know? And then at the very end, what I like to do is I go to the guy, stand up and take a bow, will you? And the guy stands up, and I point to him like, give it up for this guy.
Sure.
So it's all about the love. But I'm still kind of throwing him under the bus, because he doesn't want to do any of that shit. He doesn't
Good
want to look
times.
silly. It's all about good times. But I have to force people into good times. That's the key, is forcing them into them having a good time, hopefully, but more importantly, that the group is having a good time.
Right on. That's pretty funny, Jimmy. Now, is there any other story? It could be a short story, getting thrown under a bus, or even a friend that got thrown under a bus that just stuck with you, maybe since you were a kid, or could have happened last week, or anything.
Actually, yeah, there's something that happened many years ago that was like pretty formative in my performing career, I guess you could call it. But when I was a kid, my mom would take me to a dinner theater a lot with her deaf group. My mom was deaf, and so we'd go with a bunch of deaf ladies, and we would watch different musicals at this place by my house that showed all kinds of Grease, Pirates of Penzance, Phantom of the Opera, the whole thing. But it was this cute little dinner theater that did all these crazy great shows, and we would go with this group of deaf, mostly ladies, and there would be one interpreter there that would interpret for the ladies. He was usually one of the women's daughter who would sign language the show. We were watching Pirates of Penzance, which is a really challenging show, even to like speak with your words, much less sign language. But this, she was doing a great job, and it's really tricky stuff. And at one point, one of the pirates, there's a big scene with all the pirates, and they all are all celebrating. Yeah, we're gonna get them, and they all just leave the stage all throughout all the theater, and they just kind of go all their separate ways. And one of the pirates stopped by the interpreter, this cute little young lady, grabbed her, dipped her and planted a huge kiss on her lips, and then set her straight, and then like ran off, and she just kind of rolled her eyes like, oh jeez. But you know, and like you couldn't get away with that right now, you know, the climate that it is. But
Sure.
but at the time, I was like 11 or 12 years old. I was just like, it just kind of opened up for me the idea that like you could break the fourth wall successfully and still remain in character, and it still makes sense within the show, this fun show, and this jaunty characters, like grab whoever, you know, because he's a pirate, he can do whatever he wants. And it was just like, wow, it just really kind of opened up for me, because I grew up on television, you know, so it's just like, you can't do much. You have to, you know, just act in front of the camera. But with live theater, you can really get up in people's faces. I probably wouldn't grab and kiss a girl on the lips anymore these days, but it just opened up the possibility that it falls within the world, and that it just made me just like kind of go, wow, that's kind of fun. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great story, Jimmy.
Thanks.
Now, before you leave, I'm going to present to you with a small gift, a token of my sincerity for you taking the time out of your busy schedule. I know you're a busy guy. I may even be sure you have a show tonight, 2 shows tonight.
Yes, indeed.
So thank you for coming out, but I want to present to you with a little gift of, you know, thank you and
All right.
appreciation.
I'll hold this. What is this?
So this is just a small bag of things for you.
Should I open it right now?
Please do.
Excited.
It's just a little something to thank you for coming out.
A Cracker Jack, my favorite. I
Cracker Jack.
love it.
Who doesn't love Cracker Jack?
Who doesn't love Cracker Jack?
And they still come with the prize inside.
Yeah, wait a minute. I think aren't these guys Chicago? No, it's Plano, Texas. I thought there was a factory in Chicago. But anyway.
But I think they might have sold a shit ton of them things in Chicago.
Yeah, for
Throughout the
sure.
years. Yeah.
What is this?
So that's like a little dopey dog. And if you look on the bottom of it, it was made in 1982
Oh, come on.
from a disabled child.
Holy cow.
So I figured you of all people would appreciate that.
It says by Vera, 82.
82.
This is the cutest thing ever. This little hangdog guy.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? I figured, man, it looks
I love
almost
it.
just like Jimmy.
And what else is this?
Yeah.
I'm gonna snap into a Slim Jim.
Slim Jim. Right?
Protein.
Only because I think you're Slimmy, and your name is Jimmy. Slim Jim.
Slim Jim.
So snap into a Slim Jim.
I will indeed, trust me.
Well, Jimmy Slonina, Las Vegas's very own funny man, I want to thank you for coming under the bus. And it was a pleasure talking to you, bud. Thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting me.
So much love and much success to you and your family. I heard your wife is lovely, and she's doing her thing, and you have a son, and he's super creative, and we wish you nothing but the best, Jimmy.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you so much.
I really appreciate it. Good. Congrats to you, and good luck hanging out under the bus.
Oh, you know how I roll.
Are you gonna sleep in here tonight?
I probably won't sleep on here tonight. Only hearing about your little story about the spiders. I'm not really sure.
Okay.
But
is it a scorpion?
Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for stopping by.
Take care, buddy.
Thanks so much. I'm Anthony Napoli, and this is UTB. We want to give a shout out to What Productions, WWAT Productions, in association with AOAS, All of a Sudden Productions. Thank you so much. I'm Anthony Napoli, and this is UTB.
What the hell am I doing under here?